Hello, my crafty friends. If you're watching the replay, welcome. Glad you're here. Leave a comment below and let me know you watched the replay because people rarely watch the replays. And I've got a lot of them in my thing. And I'm trying to decide if I need to go back and just delete some of the old lives because nobody watches them. So if you watch the replay, if you would just say, yes, I watched the replay, or it doesn't have to be a big deal, just let me know. That would help me make a decision about some of that. Um, anyway, if you are watching the replay, I'm glad you chose to. And I'm going to wait and let a few people get in here before I really start doing much of anything. I don't have like some big project planned for today. I've got just some little things I'm going to play with. And so, hi, Sharon. I'm glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. Um, while Tanya's gone, Barbara's going to be streaming with me on Thursdays. And we decided to do a little book. And she's going to do, I think, little book pages in her normal little book that she's always working in with Tanya. But I wanted a separate little book. And because I wanted to save the pages that are left in my other book to do with Tanya when on Sundays. Now that I've found it again, I want to finish it that way. And this is one that Tanya sent me. And I love it. I love the cover of it. I love the size. And so, but it's just got normal old paper in it. And normal old paper is great and fine. But I just decided I wanted something interesting to start with. And so I'm going to set these aside. And I may put a few of these in there. I don't know. It just depends on how many I end up with from this stack. But these are not going to go to waste. I'm just not going to use them for this particular project because I like the kinds of pages that are in the little book that Tanya sent us at the beginning and the one that we've remade for ourselves after that. Hi, Brittany. Hi, Julie. I'm so glad y'all are here. You still doing good, Brittany? Still praying for you every day and your sweet baby. And your man too. Your little family is in my prayers daily. Anyway, I decided I was just gonna. I've got a stack like this deep of papers that are dyed papers and jelly printed papers and all kinds of papers, and I've been trying to think of things to do with them. Anyway, I decided I pulled some different things out that I'm going to put in this little book, and then I'll start working with it on Thursday when Barbara comes on with me. The other thing I'm planning to do, I don't know if y'all remember these. I made some little trees. I went back and doodled them last night, actually. Just, nothing special, just little watercolor trees that I doodled on. And I don't know what I'm going to do with those. So I didn't make any more of those. But at the same time I did these trees, I did some leaves. And where are those? Oh, here they are. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Brittany. And I cut these out last night, but I made these and doodled on them in a live stream sometime. And I kind of used them as ideas to make some more. And then I just set them aside. And I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but I was enjoying making leaves. So then I got some different scrapbook paper and I drew leaves and doodled on those. And then I've got underneath this, I've got some other scrapbook papers that I cut out, but I haven't doodled on. And I kept them with the leaves so that I could maybe copy these same patterns onto the other scrapbook papers. So we might do some of that in a little while. But I also thought it'd be fun to do some out of these papers. So we may end up just cutting some more rather than doodling on any of them today. I don't know. But this I'm setting aside for after we might finish this little book because this won't take very long. Hi, Julie. Hi, Barbara. I'm so glad y'all are here. Well, Barbara, I decided to adapt my little book. I decided these papers were not interesting enough. Now, I may dye them or coffee dye them or, do stuff on them to make them more interesting and use them in another book. But I decided to make pages out of these papers to go in this book. So on Thursday, when we're doing our little book page, I'll have more interesting papers to start out on. So the first thing I need to do is figure out how big I want my pages to be. Okay. Well, I want them to be about 5 3/4 inches tall. Let's see what these are, because those are about perfect. Okay, I'm just going to use one of these as my example when I'm cutting pages. That'll make it easy. That'll make it easy. I'm glad I thought of that, because I'd have been having to measure. And, measuring takes brain power. I'd prefer to not do brain power. Oh, let's see what Julie's saying. Or blend ink through stencils with the brush. Yes, that would work too, Julie. That's a good idea. There's so many things you can do with a blank sheet of paper. It's the options are pretty much endless. Anyway, this one's already, well, let's see if I can do that. Let's just do it. We're going to cut it in half, and we're going to fold these in half. Oh, no, because then my print would be, and I don't like that. Well, it's okay. It's flowers. Cactus and stuff. That one will be weird, but we'll just cover it up with something. And there are some words, but okay, I'm just gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. Not gonna fret over the fact that the words are not straight up and down. I didn't realize there were any words on it at all when I decided to do it. Okay, let me move those out of the way. Okay, these little pieces that I'm taking off, I'm going to put in a little box or something, and I'll use them as part of the stuff I do on the papers. Okay, so these are not as wide, but they're the right height. And I'm not going to fret over them. I just don't want them to be bigger than this. That's the thing. They can be smaller, just not bigger. I'm not sure, Julie. I went in to Facebook once yesterday. Y'all, I am not the best Facebook friend on earth. In fact, I'm probably one of the worst Facebook friends you can have, because I just don't like Facebook. So I don't go there except out of guilt. And so I don't go there very often. But I try to go at least once a day. And I do love seeing y'all's projects, but oh no. But I don't like going to Facebook. So I'm just going to make a confession right here. If I don't comment on something, it's not because I don't love you or love your project. It's just because I don't like Facebook. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that. I'm just going to acknowledge that it's true, and go on from there. Anyway, I'm not sure if I saw it yesterday or not. That's my point, Julie. I'm not sure if I saw it yesterday or not, because I've got so many things that are so much more important. Or maybe they're not more important, actually, but they're more, I don't know, they're hollering at me more in my life. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. Now, I may have too many of these. So if I don't use them all, that's fine. I'm just cutting everything down to this size, because I'm sure I'm going to make more little books. So it will be fine. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's do this one too. Anyway, I know I saw some of your papers, but I can't remember if it was yesterday. I really do love, I love having that Facebook group for y'all to put things in and encourage each other and all of that. I'm just sorry that I'm not good at having a Facebook group. I'm just not. I can't do everything. I keep thinking my life will get simpler, but so far it hasn't. And I'm not sure it's going to. If I can find a job, it will only become more complicated and I'll have even less time. But so far, I haven't found anything that will work. And I'm just praying that that I will find something. And if I don't, there's got to be a reason why. And I'm not sure what that reason is. But maybe it's that I need to trust in the Lord more and not worry about the future as much, because that's what I want the money for. It's not to pay bills right now, unless Social Security goes belly up, which I don't expect it to. But anyway, it's for in the future when I don't have any of the extra coming in, and I'm going to need to save some more. You have our permission to not go onto Facebook very often. I only go to see what's happening on your channel and Tanya's and Ann's and Becky's to see what people are up to. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Hey, Teresa. Well, I asked for help, but nobody volunteered, Teresa. I feel bad because Janet's been doing everything by herself, basically, and I hate that. But I asked for help and nobody volunteered. And I'm not going to go to people individually and say, I need your help. If I put the word out and nobody volunteers, then I have to assume it's not, that I have to make a decision about it that doesn't include someone else volunteering to help. So, anyway, that's kind of where I'm sitting right now. Basically, these little pages that Tanya did are half of 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. See, because that's what I did here. And when you coffee dye papers, it shrinks them just a tad. So you're up to 5'4". Well, you're way taller than me, Teresa. You're bound to be able to do better than me. I need, and I will gladly make you a moderator on my channel, Teresa. I appreciate that so much. I need some help with people to moderate my channel. It's not a lot of work. Basically, you're just letting people in who, who ask and fill out the 3 questions. It's not like it's a lot of work to do it. I just feel bad that Janet's been doing it by herself all this time. Since Darren passed away, basically she's been running my channel, and my Facebook group, and I feel terrible about that. And that's what I needed help with, Allie. I'm glad you're here, Allie. Was just someone to help her with my Facebook group. Oh, sorry, just a second. Sorry about that. Hannah is, she's driving now, and she's still new to it. And so I've been being an overprotective mom and making her call me when she goes somewhere. And so she was calling me to let me know that she went to grab some lunch. she didn't realize how freeing it was going to be able to go somewhere for lunch. Just to get out of the office for a little while. Anyway, it's just funny. But she was just calling me to let me know she was on her way back to the office. I said, okay, when you get back, just text me. That way I'll hear the text and I'll know you made it back, but I won't have to I won't have to mute the stream to talk to you. So that's what she's going to do. So if you hear a notification, it's just her saying she made it back to the office. Oh, thank you, Allie. I will, when we get off of here, I'll go in and I'll make both of you moderators on the channel. I appreciate it so, so much. And I know it'll be a blessing to Janet too, to know she doesn't have to do it all herself. Even though it's not a lot of work, it's still checking every day. And that's hard for her to have to do it by herself. If there's 3 of you, that makes it easier. And I appreciate it so much, Teresa and Allie. Thank you. Hi, Dana. I'm glad you're here. Julie bumped herself out. I guess you got back because you couldn't say you bumped yourself out if you hadn't already made it back. Anyway, eventually I will not make Hannah tell me when she's driving somewhere or that she got there safely. But right now, I'm still making her do that. So, Teresa's going to go get something to drink. That'll be good. These were a little bit too wide. They weren't that much too wide. But I just went ahead and instead of trimming off a little bit, I just made them smaller. Hi, Nashwa. I'm glad you're here. Okay. I'm going to do this. And we're going to make a big flip out. Make sure that's good. It's good enough. Because that way I can keep this and I like that. Hi, Kimberly. I'm glad you're here. Oh, look at this. I've already got this many pages. That's way more than I need in my little book. But I'm going to keep going because I had all these papers picked out for a reason. And this way I can, okay, I can just put 1 of each kind instead of 2 of each kind or something. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit shorter than that. I like having a variety of depths of pages too. I think I'm going to put this one in the center because it's kind of embossed as well as dyed. And I think that's kind of pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and trim it according to this one. I have thought about that, Barbara. The only problem is, well, for one thing, oh my goodness, Louisa Heinzel. I could never compare to stuff from Louisa. Her stuff is awesome, but that's beside the point. She sells stuff in a shop, and I don't have time to mess with the shop. I don't know how I would sell them I don't know how I would sell them. But I have thought about doing that. I just never have because of that. I don't want an Etsy shop. There's too much stuff involved with that that's just more hassle than for the amount of stuff I would sell. I mean, I thought about doing it because of selling, making some journals and selling them and all of that. I just don't know how I would. I just don't know how I would have a where I would sell them. I don't know how I would sell them. If you know of a good way to do that, let me know. But maybe on your channel, show them and tell how much you want and let people buy them. That's true. We could do that. I'll think about it. It'd be a lot nicer to do that than to go look for a job. But um, I guess when I see what other people put out there, I think, well, mine's not that good compared to that, and that's I don't know, not necessarily true. I don't guess, but anyway, okay. These are my extra papers or bits that I'm going to put in a box. Where I have a box. I have a bunch of boxes. But where is, oh, there it is. It's way up there. Okay, let me get a grabber. I got a grabber. Oh, I got a grabber. I'm officially an old lady. But man, is it helpful. See, I could pull that down. And I've tried like 5 different ones. This is the best one. If you want a grabber on Amazon, this is the best one, and it's not that expensive. I think it was like $12. But it's mostly all metal, but with these suction cups. And it does fold if you need it to, but I just leave it like, oh, well, I was trying to show you and I didn't. It'll fold up, but I just leave it like this. Anyway, it's really nice. It helps me a lot. Pick stuff, and it'll hold like a can of soup or something if I'm pulling that out of the pantry. So, and yes, I do need a drink. Thank you. Okay. Okay, these are the ones I got at Dollar Tree. And I got them to put in a drawer, and then most of my drawers I ended up I got new silverware sort of things that would actually had sizes of things that I need in my kitchen, and I decluttered a bunch of stuff out of my kitchen drawers and put those in there. So now I have a bunch of dividers for in the studio here for that. So these aren't as necessary. So I'm going to use it like this. Anyway, this is a pretty good deal though for $1.25. Tanya was right about that. They feel really sturdy too. So yay! But I only found 2 of them. So I'm glad I didn't have to have them because there aren't many. There weren't many at my store anyway. You have a number of grabbers around the house? Yeah, I I bought like these 4 different grabbers, and I told my son, and he goes, "Why didn't you just buy one? If you don't like it, send it back and get another one." I said, "Well, because all of them are useful for something. They're just not all as versatile as this one. And I said, that way I can keep one in every room. And he was like, oh, okay, that's probably a good idea, actually. um, so anyway, okay, let's see what we want. I'm going to start with this one. Let's try to make things. Um, well, I didn't make very many small ones, did I? There we go. There's one. Uh-oh. Okay, that one's a little bit too wide. So we're just going to fix it. It's actually really easy to fix. Barbara says, I'm about to scan 4 cards I made with the Louisa Heinzel DGs. I'll post them on your Facebook channel. Yes, do that. I really do. As much as I say I don't like Facebook, I really do love to see y'all's stuff. And I love that that's a way y'all can see each other's stuff as well. But I just feel bad because I don't go in there every day. And so I feel like I should be, more on top of things than I am. Well, that's going to be the center. Barbara's internet's messed up. I'm sorry. Freeze and refresh. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I really like these. I'm going to go ahead and stick that one in there. I thought I had. I put a yellow bubble one. Oh, yeah, that's this one here. Okay. I can let that go now. Do I have one of these? Yes. I have one of these. I have one of these. I have one of these. And I have one of these. And I have one of those. Okay, let's see how many this is. It's finally raining. Oh, I'm so glad, Barbara. I wish we could get some. I wish we could get some. No, Facebook doesn't have channels. They're called pages or groups, but you can do videos on Facebook. But I'm going to be honest with you. I was thinking about doing some videos on Facebook, but I've been to 2. Of course, our group is a lot smaller than these groups, but workshops on Facebook in the last couple of weeks, and they were having so much trouble with their videos. I mean, their live streams that they were doing in those. And both groups, I think, decided that they are now going to do their live streams on YouTube and not do them on Facebook anymore. So, so I've decided I'm not going to bother with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is probably plenty. Let's see. Okay. The biggest problem I can see right now is that this one is really wider, so it's sticking out. Let's see if any of the others do. This one also. Sometimes they, well, now I'm going to forget where I had them. Let's go back in and shorten these. But anyway, I'm going to make these a little bit shorter. Facebook wouldn't let you do a live stream. Well, I know, in StreamYard, they say you can set it up to stream on Facebook at the same time you're streaming on YouTube. And that's what I had thought about doing. But most everybody that knows me on Facebook found me on YouTube. So I don't really think that it would benefit me very much. And it would just be one more headache because then you're trying to watch chat from two different places. I have no idea how that would work. I ought to, no, I don't. I was going to say I ought to try it sometime just for kicks to see, but I don't really think I want to. I don't think I want to. There's more other things I'd rather learn how to do than that. Hi, Candy. I'm so glad you're here. I'm trying to. Okay, now let's see if this will fit in here better. It does. It does. And I I like this a lot of times, but I think for these little books, I want to go ahead and bind it. So we're going to do that real quick. Except I just realized, give me just a second. Oh. All right, sorry. Things are not where I had them. Ethan set up I call it my new printer, but it's one I bought it a year ago. We just had never got it set up. And he did that this weekend, and so I'm very happy about that. But I moved everything off of the table he was putting it on, or the dresser actually that he was putting it on, um, into into the living room on a table, so that he could do that without it, in case he needed to move that dresser. And I had deliberately not put things inside the dresser in case that needed to happen. And it ended up that it was a different piece of furniture that things were plugged in behind that had to be moved. So now it's an even bigger mess. But anyway, the printer is here and it works now. So yay. Okay. My sewing stuff is out in the studio. So like I used to have to once in a while go in the house to get something. Now I have to go out the studio and get that. But I'm going to because I want to get this done. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. I won't be gone long. Okay. I got this Galaces, Galaces. Anyway, it's waxed. It's not waxed very much compared to the other stuff I had, but anyway, I like it. Okay, but I didn't get a needle. Well, we'll hope I could just stick it through. Sometimes with this you can. We'll see if I make my hole big enough. Maybe I can just stick it through. And I'm just gonna. Okay. We're gonna start right here. Yeah, no, not gonna be able to do that. Barbara renamed me. What's my new name? Oh, Liza? Oh, I think I will. Oh, I'm sorry, Candy. I hope you're getting better quickly. Amen to Julie's prayer. Thank you, Julie, for praying. When I was in 7th grade, I had the scary teacher for um, I think it was I can't remember which history it was. If it was Texas history, American history, anyway, it was 7th grade history class. Mr. Pinkert, um, Pinkerton. His name was Mr. Pinkerton, and he was the scary teacher. He was mean. He would not let anybody do anything. I had heard about him from everyone above me, you know. And I went to class. The first day of class, he was calling out our names, and he said, "If I don't pronounce your name right, just tell me." And so he called me Liza. And I raised my hand and I said, "My name's Lisa." And he said, "I know. I can't say Lisa. So you're stuck with Liza in my class." I tried, it won't come out of my mouth. I said, "That's okay. I don't care. You just said to tell you." And I guess because I was okay with it, I kind of earned a few points. But he turned out to be a really great teacher. I loved him and he was not mean. If you were a good student, he wasn't mean. If you were if you were the class clown and you were trying to get rid of stuff, I mean, get away with stuff, then you would consider him mean because he didn't let you get away with stuff. But anyway, um, I really liked him. Okay, see if I can get that to go in. No. Shoot. Sorry. I'm going to have to go out and get my needle. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't know why I didn't think about it. I always use this yummy little needle book every time I tie up a signature, but I didn't think about it. Journey made this for me. I love it. I use it all the time, but I still didn't think about it. I haven't sewn a book together since I moved in here, obviously, or it would have already been in here. Okay, but now it's in here forever. Okay. Mom had a mean teacher who was mean to everyone, regardless of if you were a good student or not. All the students called him cauliflower ears behind his back. Oh my goodness, kids are so mean. But if you're a mean teacher, that's you kind of get what you give out. Anyway, okay. Now then. I didn't think the head of that needle was that big, but anyway. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I just don't want to split that thread. There we go. Okay, I need to stop doing 3 lengths and just do 2 or 2.5. Thank you, Julie. I can't claim any credit for this whatsoever. Tanya sent it to me. So, but I love having it. And she sent it to me a while back, but I, didn't do anything with it till now. So when you need something, it comes in handy sometimes. Okay. It actually goes like this. Because this piece is directional. I don't know if any of the others are or not. I'm not going to worry about them if they are, but this one is. So that's funny, Dana. That's funny. He must have bought really well-made clothes if they lasted that long. And they must have been pretty unique in order for people to notice they lasted that long. I better check this just in case. Hannah doesn't usually text me twice, so it's got to be someone else. Oh, it was her. You know what she wanted to know? Would I get some ground beef out of the freezer? And I said yes. And I'm going to go do it right now because I will forget if I wait. So sorry, y'all are going to have to wait just a second. Let me do this this mommy thing. Okay. Yes, Tanya does great doodling. I agree. I feel lucky to be the recipient of this journal. Okay. Now I've made it my own. So there's that. I do need to think about some kind of closure for it. Well, I'll think about that and work on that Thursday. I will work on that Thursday. And these, I'm just going to sit up here and put them in a, put that there too. Okay. Whoops. This needs to go back in my needle book. Where did I put it? Right up here. Okay. Whoops, those things. This is a cute little pocket, but it's not very good at actually keeping things in place. So I'm gonna do that, and that'll keep that in place. It's got a cute little bells on it, and I'll stick this behind that, and maybe that will keep that in place. Then it won't fall out every time I open it. I got this. She put this in here when she sent me the book. This was in here. I need to do something with it. It's green, which makes me love it. But I'm not sure. I've got some fabric I'm going to make a journal cover with, and I may use this in that journal whenever I make it. So, I got more journals that I want to make than I'm going to have time in my lifetime to make. So they just have to kind of sit around and wait till I decide to do each one. But today I'm in a leaf mood. Okay, those are finished. I'm not going to worry about those. But here I've got leaves, and I thought these are prints, so I thought it might be fun to see how these prints will look on this. I probably could, Julie. I probably could. But right now I'm probably going to just leave it the way she made it. It's worked fine for a long time, but that would probably make it easier. Okay, so I'm just going to take this one, and I need something. I mean, this is already a mess, but still. Let's see, let me find something that's okay. Okay. Now then, I can doodle on this. And I need to move those again because I threw all my pins that I was doodling with up in here. Okay. Okay. The first thing I'm going to do is just go around this is the one I'm going to copy. I'm just going to go around the edge. You kind of have to move it after a minute so you can see what actually is on the leaf and what's on the paper. Okay. Now it's definitely not perfect. And I'm just doing this with a Sharpie. On scrapbook paper for sure, you don't have to have Posca pens. You do need something under there though. And then we're going to just do a line coming out from each of those. Sometimes you might want to clean it up a little bit. And I like them kind of wide because then I can put the gold on the black, So there's that one. And I'm going to do all the black on them, and then I'll come back and add the gold because that way they have time to dry. because I don't know for sure if it'll make a difference, but I did. I drew them all. Um, in fact, I drew like on four different kinds of paper, and then went back and did the gold or the white on top of that after I did all the black. Okay. Okay, now this one doesn't have as many lines as that one does because I didn't make it exactly the same. And that's okay. It's more the idea that we want than anything. I'm not counting dots, I'm just putting them in. It doesn't have to be exact, it's just having a pattern basically. Okay, I need to get a drink. Okay. Now, if y'all get bored with this, let me know and I can stop and do something else. One thing about this, it's fun to do when you're listening to a book on tape or something. Um, it's kind of easy to get lost in it. Barbara says, there, I just posted the 4 cards I made of the Louisa Heinzel Digi Ephemera pack, Autumn Gatherings, on Lisa's Facebook group. All right. Thanks, Barbara. I'll go in and look at it later. I haven't seen that package yet. I bet it's gorgeous. Uh-oh, I got to make that a little bit wider because I went outside the line there. Okay. I love to doodle too. I don't do it often enough, to be honest. I need to do it more. I'm going to try. I don't know if this will work better or not, but I'm going to try this and see if I can get um, more even coverage. I don't know if it's better or not. That was pretty easy though. Okay. Barbara says, I love making doodly leaves and I love having doodly leaves to use. Heinzel just posted her video about it yesterday. I was bored yesterday, so I had to purchase. There you go. Well, I was watching videos about making vanilla yesterday. I've made vanilla many times, and I know how to do it, but I was watching to see what, you might learn something new. And I had um, had seen somebody say that they made it with Captain Morgan's spiced rum instead of just plain rum. And that's what rum is what I like to make mine with the most. I've made it with vodka. I've made it with whiskey and bourbon. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I made some with glycerin. I messed up on the glycerin one though, and I couldn't figure out why mine didn't work very good. But I found out yesterday while I was watching those videos. So it pays to watch a bunch of videos about something and then figure out how you want to do things. But anyway, the thing I had done wrong when I made it with the glycerin, because back when I did that, there weren't a bunch of YouTube videos about it. Um, I mean, it was probably almost 20 years ago. So, anyway, when you make it with glycerin, you don't just use glycerin and vanilla beans, you use 3 parts glycerin and 1 part water, and then your vanilla beans. So I learned something about that yesterday. And I also learned that there is an official amount of beans to use per your alcohol in order for it to be pure vanilla extract. For the this is an FDA thing. Um, and you have to use 1 ounce of vanilla beans for 8 ounces of alcohol in order for it to be called pure vanilla extract. But I would say 90% of the people I watched make it in videos. They didn't, it makes vanilla extract, Julie. I make my own vanilla extract. It's way cheaper than getting real vanilla extract. Of course, it costs more at the beginning, but I give vanilla extract out at Christmas as a gift to family and friends whenever I make my batch up. So every 3 or 4 years, I make some more and give some to everybody. Um, anyway, the recipes that I learned from was, so many beans for a certain size jar. And anyway, most of the people who make it don't put as many vanilla beans as the FDA says that you're supposed to be able to call it pure vanilla extract. And it doesn't matter. It works fine with less beans. You just can't sell it as pure vanilla extract if you do that. Yeah, see? So think about that, Teresa. 6 beans and a quart of, and that's a quart is 4 cups. And they're saying 1 ounce of beans per cup of alcohol. Now, I can guarantee you that my vanilla did not have that ratio, but made at least as strong a vanilla extract as what you buy, and tastes a lot better. So, because that, 6 beans, depending on your beans, that might be enough for 8 ounces, which is 1 cup. But most people are doing it a ratio, you know, um, more like that, like two or 3 beans per cup. And it's not going to make me change how much vanilla beans I put in mine because mine turns out great and a lot stronger than what you buy. But I do let mine sit for at least 6 months and usually closer to a year before I give it away. And that makes a difference. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting because I hadn't heard what the official amount you're supposed to use is. And I also learned that some people have what they call perpetual vanilla extract, which means they put the amount in a jar that the FDA calls for, that 1 ounce per 8 ounces. And when they do that, then they fill that jar up, and then they take off like 6 ounces to put in another jar and pour 6 ounces more of alcohol on it. And some of these ladies say they've been having this jar going for like 25 years with the same vanilla beans. Um, I haven't, I've never kept mine that long. And I have reused it, but not like that, not that much. Anyway, when you get them, when you gift them, how do you package? Let me show you. Just a second, Christine. I'm glad you're here, by the way. I didn't see you till just now. I'm sorry, but I am glad you're here. Okay. I don't know if this is a 5 or 6 ounce jar, but this is how I just package it in a little jar. Now, I did this last year's Christmas was done like this because I bought these jars, and I always put one vanilla bean in there with it, just because it's cool to have a vanilla bean in there. Um, Now you can see this isn't, I don't know if you can see, this isn't as dark as what you get when you buy it. But the reason it's not is because what you buy, lots of times they add caramel coloring to it, and they can still call it pure vanilla extract if they add caramel coloring and if they add sweet sugar. I don't add either one of those things to mine. Mine's vanilla bean and alcohol, depending on what kind you do. Um, I'm going to make some. I usually I usually brew mine, whatever you want to call it, in a quart mason jar. And then I bottle it up like this to give it away to people. I have used those bottles with the plastic and rubber stopper, the pop top kind of things. Um, I tried it. I tried making it with whiskey and bourbon and rum and vodka. Those are the four things I've tried making it with, the four alcohols. I They all taste good. I would not turn down any of them, but the rum was my favorite. And I had somebody, it's deceptive. Yeah, I agree, Julie. Hi, Jacqueline. I'm glad you're here. Anyway, I heard somebody talk about using Captain Morgan's spiced rum to make their vanilla. And I'm a more spices is better kind of girl. So I was like, oh, that sounds wonderful. I don't know why I didn't think of that myself. So I went today and bought me some Captain Morgan's, and I've got some vanilla beans. Let me show you. I got me some vanilla beans. I ordered these. I can't remember if I got them off of Etsy or eBay. I've always gotten my beans off of eBay before, and the more you buy, the cheaper they are. So, um, anyway, these are grade A Madagascar beans, and that's what most people use. But one year I could only get about half as much as I wanted of the Madagascar beans. And so I bought Tahitian beans as well. And I did some of those separately. And then I did a jar of each one. And then I did a jar where I put them together. And the jar where I put them together was the best. It was wonderful. They have a different flavor. The Tahitian ones are more flowery, and the Madagascar is more like what you normally think of as vanilla. Anyway, they were all wonderful, but when I did the different kinds of alcohol and tried them out, we just put a couple of drops on a little sugar cube and tasted it to decide which one we liked the best. And they were all delicious. But um, anyway, I'm going to make some with the Captain Morgan's. I guess I could do that on a live stream if you want me to, and show you how I cut up the beans and all of that to get them ready to go. It's not like some magic secret recipe. There are millions of YouTube videos. If you just put make homemade vanilla or do it yourself vanilla, you can already find a bunch of videos on how to do it. Um, but but anyway, and I don't know what these weigh. So I probably will weigh them just to see and see. I got 40 beans here, but they're not as long as ones I've bought in the past. These are only about 6 inches long. No, 5 inches long. And the ones I bought in the past were about 7 inches long, but they're they're softer. So I think they're a really good bean. They're just not as long, not as big. Um, anyway, you can also buy Mexican vanilla beans, and those make a wonderful vanilla. I don't know if any of you have had the chance to get vanilla from Mexico, but when I was a teenager, we went um, we went to Mexico. We went to visit my cousins in San Diego, and we went across the border at Tijuana into Mexico. And one of the things we came back with was a case of vanilla, and they're like in a bottle, like a fifth or a wine bottle. It's that big of a bottle of vanilla, and it was like $1 a bottle back then. Even now, it's still cheaper to buy vanilla in Mexico, and it was the best vanilla I had ever had in my life up to that point. And we gave those away, and we used them for a long time. Um, and when we ran out of that, it was oh. And then my dad went to Mexico to see a doctor about his arthritis, and we went over at Piedras Negras. I think that is at El Paso, but I'm not positive. And we brought back some vanilla then too. And when that ran out, that's when I finally looked into making it myself. Does vanilla extract, um, I'm not sure what do you mean hoe off? Does it go off? Does it get bad? If is that what you're asking? And it should not, because if it's made with alcohol, it should not go bad because alcohol is a preservative. So basically what you're doing is preserving those beans in alcohol. So no, it should not go bad. Even if you leave the beans in there for years, it doesn't go bad. So now if you got some impurity in there, like I don't know, you put a spoon in it that was dirty or something, I guess you might have a chance of some mold getting in there if you had air in the jar and that kind of thing. But no, no, vanilla doesn't go bad. In fact, I typically have enough to last me several years, especially since I don't bake that much anymore. What I use it for the most, well, Ethan bakes with it. But what I use it for the most is when I make my English toffee. Um, every Christmas, I'll make like 20 batches of English toffee. And I go through one of these easy, because I like a lot of vanilla. I'm a vanilla girl. And I use a lot of vanilla in that. It says 1 teaspoon. I do a little more. And this is stronger than normal. So you could do less, but I still do more. And everybody's like, your toffee is the best. What do you do different? I say, more vanilla. More vanilla is more better. Anyway, Brittany says, I'm learning a lot about vanilla today. Never knew how it was made or what it was made from, nor have I ever seen a vanilla bean, apparently, because those are cool looking. They are cool looking. Um, Maybe after I could go ahead and wash my hands and get a cutting board and make it right now if you want me to and then I could come back and doodle these if y'all would like me to do that. Um, it's not a big deal. It doesn't take a horrible long time. The way I make it anyway, it's not a big deal. Um, yeah, see, Teresa's had hers since 2013. That's 10 years. So depending on how much you use it and how much you make at a time, it could last a really long time. And if you do it like some people say, which I'm going to try that. I haven't tried it yet, where you leave the beans in there and you just every time you take out one jar, you just add more alcohol in there and let it percolate with what's already in there. It can last a really long time that way too, and you're making a little more all the time. I haven't done that because when I do it, I usually decant it up in a bunch of bottles and give them away. Um, I just happen to have a couple of extra bottles from last year, which is good because I used my whole bottle making. Um, it is vanilla extract, Allie. It's not the same as it is vanilla extract. What you're doing is extracting the flavor, the oils, and all of the stuff in the vanilla beans into the alcohol. And so that's exactly what it is. It's vanilla extract. You use it the same way you use any vanilla extract that you buy. So, hey, Kimberly, I'm not sure I said hi to you, but I'm glad you're here. Anyway, if y'all want me to do that, I can, or we can just go ahead and doodle on here. I had a friend who used vanilla extract in her burner to fragrant the house. I bet that smells good because once it burns off the alcohol, the vanilla smells delicious. I don't see why you couldn't do that. You can also use your vanilla extract. If you make it really strong, you can put your vanilla extract in some oils and make an infusion into the oils to use, in a burner or something. Anyway, so do y'all want me to keep working on this or do you want me to make vanilla? I'm going to wait a second and let you tell me what you want me to do. Do, 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 do. Okay, well, it won't take a long time. We can come back to this. But Dana says doodle. Well, I'm going to give a few more people a chance to say what they want because I can do a video um, making it, and then y'all can watch the video if you want to. That way, everybody doesn't have to if they don't want to watch. I hadn't thought about doing a video because there's so many of them, but I don't mind doing one. Nobody else is willing to comment. Um, I think it is. I think the difference depends on how much alcohol is in your alcohol. Does that make sense? Like for vanilla extract, you have to have at least a 70 proof or 35% alcohol. Yes, you did, Barbara. But I just wanted to make sure that I had one doodle and one vanilla, and so I was trying to see what other people wanted. Um, and so some people make vanilla with their homemade wine, and I watched one lady who just started, and she started with her Captain Morgan's vanilla. She started putting 1/3, let's say 2 parts Captain Morgan's to 1 part honey, and making her vanilla that way. And she said that was even better because honey is also a preservative and antibacterial and antimicrobial and all of those things. So it also preserves. And but she said it just added a little something to it to do it that way. So I thought that was interesting. Okay, I got some vanillas. Okay, we'll come back to this, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the vanilla because it won't take long. We'll come back and play with these in a minute. Let's get my stuff together. Okay, let me wash my hands real quick. One thing I want to do is weigh these beans and see how much I have, because I'm wanting to do 2 jars, a quart with the regular, and then a smaller jar with adding the honey just for kicks. Okay, I need to be able to see. Okay. I always do it at least 6 months, Allie. Some people say 4 months is enough. Um, I know one lady who just uses very few beans, and she does hers for 2 years. And she says it's wonderful if you wait 2 years and just use a few beans. So, oh, I forgot. Okay. Okay. See, I've just got 3.5 ounces of vanilla beans. So, according to the FDA method, this would not even be enough to do this jar full. Well, it'd probably be close because this displaces a lot of space. So you wouldn't get 4 cups of alcohol in here actually. So this might be enough to do a quart, but I'm not going to use them all because I want to do 2 jars. So okay. I got a new scale because I gave Ethan my other one. He actually uses it when he cooks. I do not. I only use it for craft stuff. Well, I guess I am this time, but anyway. So I gave him the other one I had and got me another one. But the other one I had, you turn it off by tearing it out again, and this one doesn't. So, okay. I got a brand new cutting board for this, just so I don't know, just because I can and it's green. Makes me happy. You soak them in the alcohol for 6 to 9 months before you use it. Um, that's why I usually start making it in the spring or the summer if I'm going to give it away at Christmas. But some people don't say, don't think you have to. Now, you can do this a lot of different ways. Some people slice their beans like this. Um, and that's working really well with these beans. I've had some in the past that didn't work so well. And I don't know if you can see it, but all this little black stuff is called caviar. Those are the vanilla seeds. And really, really gourmet dishes call for vanilla caviar. That's what they're wanting, is to put that straight in there. Okay. Um, and you don't have to. I usually do this just so I can be sure they stay under the alcohol even when I've taken some more out. So I'm being careful. I am. Some people just put the whole bean in there, but if you do that, you will definitely have to wait a long time because it needs to be able to get to the stuff inside to make your vanilla. Yes, and vanilla paste sometimes is not pure caviar, um, some or seeds, whatever you want to call it. Vanilla paste sometimes is that mixed with some kind of sweetener or something. One thing about the using the vanilla beans and making your own vanilla is that when you get through with them, you can um, you can let them dry out or you can dehydrate them. You know, if you want to not wait as long as it would take them to dry out naturally, and then grind them up, and you can use them in recipes that way. So once you've finished making your vanilla, if you don't want to make a perpetual batch, you can grind them up. And some people grind it up and then they have a special jar that they put that ground vanilla in with sugar and make vanilla sugar. The ideal weight of beans to a jar this size would probably be about what I've got here, about 3.5 ounces of beans, because you won't be able to get a full 4 cups of liquid in here. It's 1 ounce to 1 cup of alcohol, 1 ounce of beans to 1 cup. So you can make that, use that to decide what jar you're going to use. And it depends on how many beans you want to buy. Um, if you're, and don't lose any of those little seeds. Um, if you're buying, like, you can buy beans on Amazon. Um, it's a little more expensive than buying them on eBay or, well, I don't know about Etsy. I've always bought mine on eBay because there are some very reputable sellers that sell them on eBay. And so, anyway, the I probably use about, when I've made it myself, um, the what I was told to begin with was 5 beans for 1 cup. Okay. Well, there's 40 beans in here and it's 3.5 ounces. So that's more than 10 beans for 1 cup, according to the official recipe. So now there are some beans that are bigger, and the ones I had back when were bigger than these. And so, in that way, when you do that, you're getting more beans per cup. I mean, more vanilla bean per cup because they are bigger beans. Oh, this is just so full of that stuff. That's so yummy. Okay. I'm only going to do, well, let me measure them out because okay, I'm going to save 15 of them to go in my mixture with the honey because I'm going to use a smaller jar for it. And the rest of them I'm going to put in here. And I do, when I've made vanilla before, I'll get a jar that I've got that's been brewing. Once I jar it up, I usually cover them again with this. It's funny how it slices them, but it won't cut through them. Um, it does. My hands smell good too. The the jar I have, I just, as soon as I poured them all up and I put 1 bean, I made like 3 quarts, and I poured those all up and put 1 bean in each jar, or a half a bean, because I was cut, I cut them in half. Now, I haven't ever sliced them like this before. I've always just cut them in half and cut them open, but not sliced them in half. Anyway, I put 1 bean in each jar, and all the rest of the beans I put back in the jar and added more alcohol on top. But I put all of those beans into um, well, no, not quite. because one jar I didn't finish, so it's still got its beans in it. Anyway, I have made double vanilla out of them before, but I haven't ever tried to keep a perpetual jar because, like I said, I'm always opening it all up and giving it away. But anyway, this is actually easier than the way I usually do it, which is try to slice it down the side. I'll show you that way because it's the way I've always done it. But I saw this guy doing this. I was like, oh, that's got to be harder, but it's really not harder. Okay, this is what I used to do was take it and then cut down the center of it. And then open it up like this. And this one's not wanting to cut that way. The ones I've had in the past have been drier than these. I ought to be able to get really good vanilla out of these. Anyway, I would just open them up like that and put them in there. And that way, when you stick one of these in your jar, you know, it looks a little nicer than one that you have split in half. But and the guy I saw who did this says he just slices open but not in half, enough of the beans for each jar, and he leaves his long. He doesn't cut his in half like I do, but he doesn't reuse his beans at all. But he sells his vanilla, and so he doesn't want to take any chances on um, it not being as good as the product he sold before. So we have a shop called the Body Shop that has vanilla perfume, and it smells it's shapeless. Who knows what the I don't know. AI is not all it's cracked up to be. Let's just say that. But anyway, it does smell good. But while I'm sitting here doing it right now, it doesn't smell overpowering at all. It smells good, but it doesn't smell overpowering. But if you walk in the room like an hour from now, it'll still smell really good. And you'll go, ooh, I can smell it now. And I'm not worrying about them being beautiful because I gave everybody vanilla last Christmas, except for TJ's family. I'm going to take him some, but I've already got it bottled up. So, and that's why I'm not worrying about what time of year I'm doing it, because I'm doing it because I wanted to try the Captain Morgan's this time. It's purely about that. It's not about wanting to give them as Christmas gifts this year. But there are a lot of people who say, that in 3 or 4 months you can go ahead and start using it. And you could, it just won't be as full bodied of flavor as if you wait, longer. Unless you put a bunch more vanilla beans in there. And I bet if you put the whole, and that may be why that's the recommendation, because they're trying to get it done as faster. I don't know, because the guy who I watched that slices his like this, he also vacuum seals his jars, and that makes it go a little faster. And he sells his after 4 months. So you might, if you did it now, you probably could use it at Christmas if you really wanted to, if you were desperate to. But I never have used it that fast. But I know that you get it out 3 or 4 years from now, and it'll still be wonderful. What's that's one of the great things about it. I'd rather wait. Yeah, I'd rather wait too. Plus, I usually I can tell, when I get down to just having a couple of those small jars left, that's when I make more. So, um, I didn't give away as big a jars last year. So I still have some in the pantry in a jar that with the vanilla beans and everything in a quart jar that's just been sitting there all this time because I didn't need it last year, and I've been using a jar. I gave Ethan a jar to take over to the apartment with him because my kids don't even remember what it was like to buy vanilla. All they've ever had is homemade vanilla because I've been doing it since they were babies. So I do need a new paring knife, I think, though. The guy that I watched do this, he used a razor blade, but I didn't trust myself that much. But he didn't have as much of a struggle as I'm having. Of course, he didn't cut them in half either. He left them long. Anyway. And he also did scrape he scraped all of this stuff out. And he put that in there separate. So he would just put it in the jar like that. And that makes it go faster too. And some people don't like having those little vanilla beans. The little vanilla seeds in their vanilla. They want their vanilla to be completely clear. But other people, like people who do gourmet cooking, they specifically want those little vanilla seeds in there because it shows a higher quality of vanilla. So you can do whatever you want to do when it comes to the seeds. If you don't like the seeds in there, then you can strain it when you pour it up. Don't want to waste these. I'm not going to take the ones that got under my fingernails, but okay. Let me wash my hands real quick. I'll be right back. Getting that out from under your fingernails takes a bit. Okay. I could measure my alcohol as I pour it in there so I would know exactly how much I'm putting in, but I'm not going to because it doesn't matter. That's how much I'm how much I'm doing is to fill the jar. I'm going to move these so I can do the other one. When I get off of here, I'll do the one with the honey, but I'm going to have to warm my honey up a little bit to make it thin enough to work. Okay. I bought the big one because ounce by ounce, it's cheaper to do that. And then when I take some out, I can just pour more in. So, okay, come on. And there are cheaper brands of spiced rum you can get. I've just never used any of them, and of course, I haven't used Captain Morgan's. I don't know. When I was in my 20s, sometimes I drank rum and Coke, and Captain Morgan's is what I liked for that. I'm gonna have to get my knife back and help open that thing. It will take forever to pour it if I don't take this out. Okay, come on. It's not supposed to be that difficult. Everybody talks about it. You just pull it out. Mm. I put rum in it, and I'm doing the Captain Morgan spiced rum right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it because it'll take me longer to try and get that out. Um, and one thing you can do is pour a little bit off of your rum and then put all your beans down inside that jar. That's how I did it for a long time. But I like to be able to get the beans out, and they're a lot harder to get out of this jar than they are to get out of this jar. So now, one thing to keep in mind when you're doing this is that when you're using a dark rum, it's already got color to it. So you need to be careful not to let that fool you into thinking it's done. Does that make sense? Okay. And then I just put this on. I put it on tight. And then every day for several weeks, you do this. And then you set it back on your cabinet. And after 3 or 4 weeks of doing this every day, you can put it in a cabinet and just do this, once a week or so until it's ready. But the reason I want to show you the jar that I have going is because it doesn't look a whole lot darker than this. And so different beans make a different darkness, but none of them are going to be as dark as you are expecting them to be because what you're used to seeing from the store, they put coloring in. Okay, this is what's left. And you can see it's not terribly much darker, if any, than this. And this is what's left from my batch of last year that I haven't poured up to use yet. And then I've got another jar that has all the beans from 3 jars, except what I took out to put in each one of these. And that's been decanting since last Christmas. So this one's about 1.5 years old. The other jar is 1 year old. And now I'm making a fresh one. I didn't need to make it, but I wanted to try the spiced rum. So I am. So I have plenty of vanilla. If the people I usually give it to run out, I can easily give them some more. So someone just popping in to see what I'm up to. Well, I'm making vanilla. That's not what you expect to see on my channel, but it is called My Eclectic Life because I do lots of things. Anyway, on this one, I'm going to write the date. I didn't do that on these others. I just knew I made it in June and I made it at Christmas. So I probably ought to put 6/22 on that. And today is the 25th of 23. And this is Captain Morgan's spiced rum. That way I will differentiate it from the others. I do not, Barbara. I just let the little vanilla beans go in there. You don't get a whole lot of them until you get to the very end because they stay down in the bottom of the bottle. But a lot of people do. But everybody I give it to already knows it's homemade and there's a vanilla bean in there. So there are going to be some seeds come out, you know. So, um, well, hello, Purple Poodle Creations, making vanilla extract. Vanilla extract. That's what I'm making. And so it is a wonderful gift. And everybody I give it to is, they're always grateful because I don't know, and none of my immediate friends make it. So they're all, and none of my family makes it because I do, and I have for 20 years, at least 20 years, and so they know where to get some if they need it. Teresa's down to about a 13th of a jar, so it's time to make more. Yeah, you need to make some more. Anyway, the I got extra so I can do the top it off and keep it perpetual thing this time. Plus, I want to try it with the honey. I've never added any kind of sweetener um, to mine because I just use it like vanilla. Oh, 1/3 of a jar. Okay. Well, that's better. You have a little bit more. You can make it until the next batch is done. Have you used rum chata? I don't know what that is. What is that, Teresa? It's a spiced rum. Oh, no, I haven't. I didn't even realize there were so many different kinds of spiced rums out there because I only go to the liquor store every 3 or 4 or 5 years when I need to make vanilla. Um, and so this is the one I knew of, so that's the one I bought. But she showed me like 5 different kinds of spiced rum while I was there. But this was the one I knew, and so this is the one I bought. It was more expensive than some and less expensive than others. So, but anyway, yeah, you'll if you do that and you can learn about how to make vanilla, Marcia, that'd be great. And like I said, this is one from a year and a half ago. Um, I should have. No, I did. This is what's in this jar. So this is just a leftover jar I had that I'm going to take when we go visit TJ's family. I'm going to take them a couple of jars. Um, I also found out, which I did not know until this morning, that you can buy a potato vodka that is not made from grains. And so you can make a gluten free um, vanilla with that. I didn't know. I didn't know you could do that. Rum chata is cinnamon flavor white milky rum. It sounds good. No, I don't know. I, I quit drinking alcohol a long time ago, except once in a while if my brother or sister's here and they want a glass of wine, I'll drink a glass with them. But I'm just not that into it anymore. I never was really into it. I was one of those people that never had more than one because I was not going to take the chance that two might be too many. And but I did like Captain Morgan's in a Coke way back when. So that's why I knew about it. Um, but like I said, I've tried the vodka, I've tried the rum, I've tried bourbon, I've tried whiskey, and all of them made good vanilla. I've happily used all of them. But well, it's made from grains. A lot of alcohol is made from grains, and grains have gluten. So um, now whether there's enough in there to be an issue or not, I doubt. I doubt there's enough in there to be an issue, especially since you use 1 teaspoon in a big recipe. But I saw somebody who was using the potato vodka because it was made with potato and not grains. And so and they used it for someone in their family that was gluten free. And I thought, oh, I didn't even know you could do that. So I thought if you were trying to do it gluten free, you had to use glycerin. And that works too. If you want, if you have someone who for religious reasons or whatever doesn't can't use alcohol in anything and even vanilla, then you can make it with glycerin. They sell it, made in glycerin too. You can make it with glycerin water. Um, But anyway, okay, I'm going to move these out of the way. I'm going to keep this one out so I can shake it every day, but I'm not going to keep it out here. Okay. Now we're back to our regularly scheduled program. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it, Julie. If it hasn't bothered you already, it won't bother you because there's not more alcohol in what you make than there is in what you buy. Okay. I don't really need these because I know kind of what I did with them. I just need these to add the silver. I mean the gold. Yeah. Well, has uncle does uncle well, if there are gluten-free um cookie type, cake type recipes. So someone might use the glycerin one in those if they know they're cooking for when they're because if you're using those kinds of flours on purpose, then you may already have known, about it. But we're only intolerant around here too. But and I've never, it's the wheat that bothers me in the cooked thing, not the vanilla. So anyway, I just thought it was interesting to know that that was available and that it does make a good vanilla. I was going to buy some today and make some of that too, just to see what it was like. But they on the store I went to only had one brand of the potato vodka, and it was $30 for a small bottle, and I was like, I don't want to make it that bad. I definitely don't want to make both of them. And this big jar, and it was about half the size of the jar of Captain Morgan's I got, and the jar of Captain Morgan's was 35, so that was enough money to spend on it. But when you're making vanilla, even though you cost spend $35 for the alcohol, and I think I spent about $30 for the vanilla beans, it still ends up being cheaper per ounce than buying that amount of vanilla at the store. You just don't typically buy, 1.75 liters of vanilla. Not typically. Okay, well, there's this one. I don't want to. And these may not end up being exactly like the one that they're with. I guess I can go ahead and bring it over here because I do like the way I did these. Okay. Okay. Because some of them I outlined the outside of the leaf and some of them I didn't. And I don't guess it really matters. They don't have to be the same. I just liked the way those turned out. And so I did some of them with gold and some of them with white. So we'll do a batch with gold and then we'll do a batch with white. I might need to bring the camera down a little bit. I just realized you can't really see what I'm doing. You can just see where my pen is at. Okay, hold on, because this is not a smooth transition with this camera setup like it used to be. Okay, come on. A little more. Okay. That's good as I'm going to get. Let's see if we can. That's a little bit better. And then you have to not mess with them because it needs to dry. That's the problem with. Okay. And they will look different even though I'm decorating them the same because it's different paper underneath. Um, but I just thought it was fun that you can make leaves with so many different things. And even if you use the same patterns over and over and over again, they look different because they've got different paper underneath. So there's that one. What's this one? Whew. Okay, my back is tired. I'm gonna have to sit a minute. The position I had to be in to cut those vanilla beans, even though it wasn't that arduous of a process, my back has been bothering me this weekend pretty bad. So that kind of um, put it back in that space. But it's okay because I wanted to get that done today anyway. And so now instead of doing it tonight and not being able to sleep, I got it done earlier so I can rest my back before I have to go to bed. So that worked out well, actually. Oh, thanks, Teresa. Well, I'm sure you know how it is, but sometimes you have to push yourself or nothing gets done. And that's how I feel like this weekend was. It was everything I did was because it really needed to be done, not because I felt good enough to do it. But that made my nights really hard because I didn't, because I was doing stuff even though I didn't feel like doing it. But anyway, sometimes you just have to do that. It does make me a little worried about how things are going to go when I do find a job, though. So keep praying about that. If you don't mind, I would appreciate it. See how different those look? It's all a function of what's underneath. Oh, y'all aren't putting me in jeopardy. This is at least fun. The stuff I had to do this weekend wasn't even all that much fun. So at least I'm having fun right now if I'm bothering my back. And I'm using my supplies, which makes me happy Because when you're trying to go through all your stuff and you realize how much you've collected and how much of it you haven't been using, it's kind of embarrassing and makes you feel ashamed of yourself. So, um, okay. Oh, I am going to need these. No, I wanted to do one that was white. Okay. Will you do these instead? Yeah. Thank you, Julie. Oh, I need my paper. There it is. Okay. Okay. This one's really busy. It looks more like some kind of seed pod than a leaf, but anyway. Just 1 second. Even though I washed my hands twice since I cut up those vanilla beans, my hands still smell like vanilla. Smells good. Okay, there's that one. I actually kind of like that one just black because it's not as busy as with the white on it. Hmm. Well, I'm going to set it up here and um, think about that. Don't press down too hard, it skips, and then you have to come back and fix it. Okay. Y'all still here? Nobody's chatting. I don't know if it means anything or not. Part of it is this underneath these is a plaid. You can see it better like in that one. And that I think makes it seem busier too. Well, come on. Beth. I'm so glad you're here. You missed me making vanilla. I made some vanilla extract. Well, I mean, I put it together. Now it's going to take the rest of, 6 months or longer to make, but I put it together. If you want to go back and watch the beginning, you may already know how to do that. I don't know. Anyway, we talked a lot about vanilla pros and cons and that kind of stuff when I was doing that. So Julie's staring intently at the screen. Okay. It is expensive um, at first, but if you calculate what it costs to make it and you make a bunch of it, which will last forever, or you can give it away, which is what I tend to do, it's cheaper than buying it. I did some of them. I don't typically scrape the beans. I just open them up real good. Um, but I did scrape some of them to show how to do that and to show the caviar inside. Anyway, well, that didn't work out so great. Let's see. There we go. I'm going to make some more. I saw somebody who did it and they added honey, and I decided I want to try that. Um, didn't use as they were doing it to lower the alcohol content. I don't think I mean, unless you're drinking it, I don't think you're going to get enough alcohol to be an issue for me. So I would just be doing it to try it and see because I've never done that. But anyway, I'm really liking these without the white. What do y'all think? Tell me if you think I should put the white on them or if you think I should leave them alone. Just because I put white, just because I doodled with more than black on some of them doesn't mean I have to doodle with more than black on all of them. Anyway, I'm liking them just like this. I agree, Julie. So I think I'm going to leave these ones just like this. Now I really liked adding the gold on these, but um, but I think these I'm just going to leave alone. So we will. Let's see. I don't have to pin them necessarily. I do want to use some of the. I'm not putting them back in the paper clips because I want to use some of these shapes to make some more out of my jelly prints. I rarely use scrapbook paper, so I was excited to find a thing to do with scrapbook paper. I just scraped a couple, Allie, to show that you could do it that way, but that's not how I do it. Okay, here's this one. And this time I cut two of them. While I was doing it, I just stuck two pieces under there. Now you don't have to make as wide a border as I'm doing on these. I just, for some reason, I'm in a wide border mood today. I don't know. And they don't even have to be even. They can be uneven. We can make the borders uneven like that. And it looks cool. It's okay. Okay. See, I'm not so happy with that one. So we're going to make it wider. One nice thing about a wide border is when you're putting these lines in like this, you don't go across them and make a funny looking place just sticking out there. I hand drew them and cut them. Um, I hand drew them on this, and then I just put these behind it and used this as a pattern to cut out some more. It's something you can do sitting in your recliner. You don't even have to, you know. Or if you don't have a die cut machine, or if you just like to make leaves like me. Okay. Trying to get those kind of out of the way so that I can put these up here. Okay, on this one, I'm going to do one of them with white and I'm going to leave one of them because I've got one with gold. Oh, I'm going to wait though and come back and choose one of them to do with white um, after they've set a little bit longer. I forgot about that. Barbara says, I just went away for a minute and got another cup of coffee and heated up a piece of quiche. Now I'm happy. Oh, good. I like for you to be happy. Okay. I kind of like using this really big one, chisel point, because you could make the smaller line or the bigger line with the same thing instead of having to switch around all the time. That's nice. Sorry, I've been talking too much and I'm coughing more often. I'm going to have to get off it a little bit. May not be able to do as many of these as I wanted to. But we got a vanilla extract lesson in, so. Oh, I better check that. Okay. I'm a tea drinker too, Dana. My whole family drinks coffee except for me. And I mean that literally. Um, my parents and siblings, as well as Darren and the kids, all were coffee drinkers, and I'm not. That's okay though, because I like the way it smells, so I like having it in the house. I just don't want to drink it. Okay. And there are lots more um, patterns you can use. I just chose some I liked and did them. These ones that I did on watercolor, are different from these. And some of them I liked okay, and some of them I didn't. And that one I really like. But I didn't really copy completely any of those over here. Um, some of them are similar, but anyway. Okay. Oh no, I need to do the. I think I must have these upside down because the veins are going different from the way you would expect. Or maybe not. Maybe it doesn't really matter. I don't know. Yeah, these I painted them with watercolor and then I outlined them with a pen, um, and then came back, and doodled on them with just a pen with like this. And I came back with so this has the pen and then it has the gold or the white. I just used these three things, but I painted them, just painted the leaves in watercolor to begin with, um, rather than cutting them out of something that had already been painted. Just I hope that makes sense. But I think you can do something similar with any kind of painty paper. And that was one of the things I was planning to do today was cut some more out of painty papers. Yeah, let's turn it this way because that's actually. I just thought it was interesting to take, to find some patterns you like and make a bunch of them with different backgrounds. And I have no idea what I'm going to do with them, but I like leaves, so I'm sure I'll figure out something. Well, seems kind of funny to add more dots to this one because it's got a bunch of dots in the background, but we're doing it anyhow. They'll be there ready when you need them. That's right. I'm not making my dots very even. Oh well, I don't think it really matters too much. Oops. Okay. We'll go back and do some white on one of these. And then we'll cut out a few out of some other paper so you can just kind of see what that looks like. Um, I think I'm going to do white on this one. And you don't even, have to do the same thing to decorate this, even though you use the same pattern. I'm just lazy, so I am, rather than having to think too much about what to do. You can do whatever you want because they're your leaves. And that's one of the fun things about using this rather than die cuts. Um, is that they're all yours. Okay, so now I've got three completely different leaves with the same pattern. Barbara says, did I show you the ephemera book I made following Patricia at La Cafe Craft, the never ending ephemera book? I'd, I'd put these leaves right in that book and there they'd be ready for me. Today I used the stamps I stamped out a long time ago on a napkin books. Part that rings a bell in my brain, but I can't say for certain, Barbara. I'm sorry. I can't say for certain. I have to qualify anything I say nowadays with I'm not sure, but I think maybe. Okay, that'd be good, Barbara. I'd appreciate that. I might need to make one of those. So I definitely would like to see it if I have. And if I've already seen it, obviously I need to see it again. Because while it rings a bell, I don't have a picture in my brain of it. One thing I like about these is using the Sharpie, and then I can use these pens over the Sharpie. I'm using these pens that I haven't used very much, and so it's not wasteful, which is nice because I've been feeling um, rather wasteful lately. Oops. I'm looking for the file folders. I don't want to pay a small fortune for a bunch of them when I don't need that many. Yeah, our thrift stores tend to have a lot of file folders. Um, and sometimes they'll just have like 10 of them. Sometimes they have a whole box, but I'm going to do this one a little bit different and just kind of highlight that instead of making the little stitches on it. Just because I think I'll like it better. And I won't know if I don't try it. Yeah, I do. I like that. Okay. I'm going to retitle this stream um, Making Leaves and Making Vanilla. Doodling leaves and making vanilla extract. So if you see that come up, it's not new. It's just that I'm retitling it after this because I didn't know I was going to do that. And that way, if somebody's interested, they can know to go watch that. And I'm gonna on this one, I'm gonna do sketchy right here as well. Yep, yep, yep. Okay. Here's the link to Patricia's video. Is that the video for that book you're talking about, the ephemera book? Oh, no, won't let me do that. Okay, let's try again. Okay. I'll just have to come back and do it. We used to have a craft place in town where you could get 1 inch of folders for $1. Oh, that'd be nice. Yes, that's the never ending ephemera book. Okay, good. Yeah, some thrift stores. I had said something once that they had things that I knew came from Dollar Tree priced higher than Dollar Tree. And they said, well, but you're helping a charity if you buy it from us. I was like, yes, but I buy it from you because I want a better price for myself as well. I want to help charity, but I also want to help myself. she, uh, she didn't really appreciate that. I was like, well, um, I don't want to need charity, so I want to spend my money wisely. Anyway, it was I thought that was a weird thing to say. I was just trying to help her price things better where people would buy them. Because I knew if I looked at it and thought, well, I can get it brand new at Dollar Tree cheaper than that, I wouldn't buy it there. Anyway, I didn't mean to offend her. I just was trying to be helpful, but she thought I was being greedy or something. Maybe I was. I don't know. I didn't feel like I was. Okay. Exactly. That's why you shop there. I agree, Julie. That's what she needs to think about that. Um, okay. Let's put these up out of the way. Whoops, get back up there. Okay. I didn't do this batch, so I'm just going to show them to you. Okay. There's that shape. And this one. That's funny because that looks just like that. Oh, no, there's no lines across. Okay, I was going, what's different about them? Woo! I For a minute, I didn't even see the difference. I was going, why did I do two just alike? Okay, I like all of these really well. And I like the size of these. So I think I'm going to use these to cut out my next batch. I'm going to put them up here because I'm only going to do them one at a time. And I think this is the longest one. So this is what I'm going to use as my measuring gauge here. Okay, let's see. Let's try to find some. I don't think I want flowers. I just grabbed some of these. Some of them look more leafy than others. Okay. Oh, there's a bunch more down there. Okay, let's see what else we got. I think they'll be fun leaves. And I've got them and I'm not using them for anything, so. Okay. We're going to just use these. And, oh, maybe this one's longer, is it? Nope. Okay. The first thing I'm going to do is just kind of measure and then trim off some. Where did I put my ruler? Well, Oh, here it is. Okay. And I'm gonna like take this much off the edges. That way I've got strips I can use for something else. Instead of little bits of wonky. I mean, there'll be some wonky stuff too, but anyway, it just seems to me like strips would be more usable. It's almost 4 and you haven't said you got to go. Well, I had things I wanted to get done and I still want to do that. Once I do this step, then I probably will go, but I'm glad to say that I haven't had to go yet. That's good. Okay, where did I put that box for? There it is. I'm going to stick these in here in case you were wondering what I'm going to do with them. Okay, now I want to make sure I can fit. Okay, I can fit at least 5 of them, so that's good enough. Now then, I just thinking about this though, some of these are thicker papers, so I don't want to try to cut all of them at once. And there's, no scientific method to this. I just put them down here and that's right. Now that hair dries, I have more time. Yay! Uh-oh. I cut into that one. Not my plan. Because I can cut a little bit bigger and it won't hurt anything. See? Anyway, I'm going to take those. And that one didn't have a whole lot of stuff on it, but it'll still make a pretty leaf. And I'm just going to stick them under that one with that. And I'm going to pick my next favorite shape. I think I like this one. Since I might not be able to get, okay, maybe if I do it like that. Um, we've texted back and forth a couple of times, but and they've been having fun, but we haven't talked as much this time as we have in times past. They're busy. And I'm just going to stack those there so that I have them all together. Now these are a little bit bigger. The other ones I was only doing 2, and so I did them pretty much exactly the same. Maybe like this. Okay. So you can see. Let's see if you just look at this. You know, you can figure out anything you want to on it. But if you want to, you know, once you've figured out something you like, you can do that. And then you can change it. You don't have to do it the same, but at least you have a pattern you can use if you want to. It could be a bird. It could be a bird. That's true. Okay, let's see. Let's try this one. I'm going to see if I can get them all in here if I'm more judicious about placement. And I bet I can. Yeah, I got more than enough space. And they don't have to match perfectly because who's going to know, you know? And don't tell anybody, but I'm throwing those away, those little scraps, those little bitty scraps. Now, these scraps I'll keep, but the itty bitties I'm not going to. Alrighty, there's those. Okay, we've got these. Let's choose some different ones. Um, let's just cut some. Freehand. Can we do it? They could grow up. Well, I've got a lot of them that grew up or they multiplied or whatever, and I have way too many little bitty scraps. So I'm trying to learn the fine art of letting go. Now these, you know, they're going to not have any um anybody to tell me how to do them, even myself. But I can use that curve and I can make another one like that. Hello, Spirit Junkie. I'm making leaves today. Here's some we've already made. And right now I'm just cutting out leaf shapes. They don't have to be all big either. I'm kind of just letting I don't know, letting the paper inform my imagination, I guess. Definitely time to get ready for the leaves. Yeah. So are you making some hidden paper clips with them? I don't know what I'm going to do with them. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Okay. A lot of them end up looking alike. Let's see if which of these papers are still keepable. Put those in my box. Box O stuff. Okay, I think those are all keepable too. Anyway, there's the beginning. And let's just doodle on one. Since we're doing from scratch here to play. Well, that's a good idea. And you don't have to do borders on them. I've just been doing borders on all of them, but you don't have to. You can do whatever you want to do. So there's one. Um, I think it came from this one. Yeah. Let's try a little one here. Okay, with this one, we're not going to put any border on. We're just going to. See, it's pretty just like that, too. So let's try this one without a border. Ooh, let's do this one. That one looks fun. Uh-oh. Okay, we're going to just go with that because it got caught on my something under here. We're just kind of making them up as we go. Is that? No, this one. Okay, I was like, I can't remember which one's what. I didn't realize I had it way down there. Sorry. All right, let's play with this one because it's a weird shape. Let's do this one because it's also not even very painty. Let's see how it'll turn out. Let me take a glance at. Okay, I think I like the way that one's done. So we're going to do something similar here. I am going to border this one because of the big white space. And I'm not sure I really like that. So I'm going to come on back in here and do this. And I think I like that a little bit better. All right, we got two more. We might as well go ahead and do something with them. Um, that one's kind of weird. You could come back in and put some, a few dots. Let's just do these two in the middle. Probably won't repeat that one because I don't really love it. Hi, Cindy. How are you doing, sweetie? I've been praying for you, but I haven't heard an update. I'm glad you're here. Okay. What do we want to do with this one? Oh, yeah, I like that. Let's do that. Well, this is kind of actually the opposite of the one that I'm looking at over there. But I think it looks better bordered, so let's go ahead and border it. Sometimes you try something and you don't like it. Yeah, it looks better bordered. Okay. Oh, yay, Cindy. Praise the Lord. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Well, I'm continuing to pray for you every day, and I will keep it up. But I'm glad to hear that things are moving good. Well, this is the time when we have to say goodbye. I'm pouting. You can't see it, but my lower lip's sticking out. But I do need to go. But I have had a lot of fun with y'all today, and we've done a lot of fun stuff. So we put pages in a journal. We made a bunch of leaves. We made some vanilla extract, or at least got it started brewing. So it's been a fun day. Thank y'all for coming on this little journey today with me. Love you all. God bless you. I hope you have a wonderful week. See you Thursday. Thursday, Barbara's going to come on with me, and we're going to do a page in our little book and whatever else we decide we want to do that day. Don't be pouty. Yeah, I'm silly. That's okay. It's better to be silly than to really be pouty. Bye bye, all.